Hi everyone, I'm Krylios, Team Rayceen Productions MC and producer. Our topic today is LGBTQ people in Africa. We want to note that we hope that this is the first of many such discussions. Africa is a large continent with many countries, and the LGBTQIA community is very diverse. Our guests will share their experiences and perspectives, which will hopefully provide some insight to all of us who live in other parts of the world. And I will begin with Basiru. Go ahead.
Hi everyone. I'm Bashir and Uchenna. I'm joining in from Nigeria. I work with the African Creative Initiative, an organization, a regional organization working to amplify the voices of queer youth in Africa. I'm so excited to be part of this.
Thank you so much. And next.
Yes, my name is Uchenna Samuel. I'm from Nigeria. I'm Igbo by tribe, and I work with an organization called Levites Initiative for Freedom and Enlightenment. So it's an LGBTI-led organization that promotes spirituality, sexuality, and economic well-being of LGBTI persons in Nigeria. Thank you.
Fabulous, fabulous. And thank you so much for joining us here. I am, so ready to not only learn, but, just receive, what your experience is like and all of that. So I'll begin. I'll throw the first question. What would each of you like the viewers to know about what life is like for LGBTQIA people in your region? And we'll start with Basiru.
Okay, so from Nigeria, so I'll start from Nigeria and then maybe I'll broaden it with terms of my work context. I work all over Africa. So in Nigeria, being queer or being gay, bisexual, women, having to struggle every day of your life, you either struggle to, hide a certain part of yourself, or you struggle to, identify as something you're not. So it's like hiding and then assuming something into something or an identity that you're not. And then there is also that struggle of, if people get to realize about your sexual orientation or gender identity, what could be the repercussion of that? So it could be that you'll be attacked. It could be that you lose your job. It could be that you'll be denied access to certain services that a citizen ordinarily ought to have, like maybe access to health services. So we have situations where persons are denied, services in the hospital because they identify as gay or bisexual. So I have a story of this lesbian woman who went to, get some sexual health, reproductive health services in the hospital. And, the doctor was like, okay, considering this and this, I think you need to, tell your boyfriend to go check himself or at least bring your boyfriend. And she was like, no, you shouldn't just assume that because I'm a woman or I appear as a woman that I will have a boyfriend. Because if I know I don't do men. I am a lesbian. I have a girlfriend. Then this doctor starts preaching to her about how she continues with this her way of life, she's going to hell. So to conclude, she was like, okay, at the end of the day, I don't even believe in your God. So you can't be talking to me about heaven or hell or whatever it is. So can you believe that doctor sent her out of his office and refused to, give her those services?
Wow.
Yes.
And he is supposed to be there for her health.
Yes, exactly. So these are the things that people face. People walk on the street and, police will just look at you and you are effeminate or you appear to be, effeminate, or they just have this idea about you. It might not be true. It could be just an idea they have. They'll come and start harassing you. But through that ways, they start extorting you. They get to, collect, because you wouldn't want that situation to escalate. So people try to, find their way out. So they ask for money and all that. So the situation is really critical in Nigeria. It's a matter like in Nigeria, the whole situation is, if you are caught, having a same-sex relationship or anything, you get you stand the chance of 14 years imprisonment. In some other parts of Nigeria,
14.
Yes, 14 years.
Wow.
Yes, because of the recent anti-gay law that was in SSMPA, they call it. So in some other parts of Nigeria, it's death, like in the Muslim part, the Islamic part of Nigeria. If you are caught in that situation, you stand the risk of being stoned to death. That is the situation. And then, so the thing is really critical. And then in other African countries, like you hear recently in Ghana, there was this attack of people in Ghana, and then this recent one in Cameroon. Is it Cameroon? Yes, the recent attack on trans community in Cameroon, and then so the situation is really critical. People are losing their lives every day, and then people at the end of the day they don't have anywhere to go to because the system is made in a way that it doesn't hold the perpetrators of such homophobia and hate accountable. And somehow the state is even kind of influencing it because of the laws they put in place. So it kind of fuels this sort of homophobia. So people use the law as an excuse, to start their attacks and their homophobic ideas in the society. So that is how it is from my end. I think I will give Uchenna a little, so that I don't take the whole time.
Of course, yes, Uche, give me as well from your perspective, what life is like for LGBTQIA people in your region. Give me some insight into that.
Yes. Krylios, may I say that your nails are on point?
Thank you.
Yeah. And I like that.
I love it. I'm also from a place originally where, homophobia permeates the culture and the society. And, when I made the decision that I was going to move here to, do college and to stay, I knew that, coming here, I should just do whatever the hell I want to do. So this is a part of that. I want to be part of that.
So that's where I want to come in from because like Bashir has said, we have a whole lot of issues, a whole lot of, experiences that are really not good, that any human being shouldn't be experiencing on a normal day because of who they decide to fall in love with, or, love with. Basically love, because there's nothing I see here. There is no reason for the discrimination, the stigmatization, and the criminalization around. Because, like he pointed out, we have a law in this country that states that, in fact, if you're living, if you're living with another person, now I'm trying to paraphrase the law and translate it. As a man, if I'm living with a fellow man, I stand the chance of being imprisoned for 14 years. So if I'm living with the man, let's say, for a long time, so we're now, in-house partners or living partners. Now, sex was not mentioned here. The mere fact that we are living partners, so people can identify you and identify the other person. And we know them, they have been living for so long. Now, the question of are they having sex is not there.
Yes.
It's a chance of the 14 years. That's how, to tell you how, hideous this is.
And then, I must ask, and do you actively see these laws being enforced? Like, are they being enforced?
So that's a story for another day. So they are politically being enforced. I use the word politically because we have not recorded a situation where someone was jailed for being a homosexual in Nigeria. So what happens is that, like Bashir said, there's police arbitrary arrest. So as a gay man, I can call friends to come for my birthday party. And if the police by chance happen to know that, these are, or they perceive that this is a gathering of gay persons or queer persons, they come there arbitrarily and arrest everybody. And what we see is that people pay money for bail. Bail is supposed to be free, but you have to pay money now to bail yourself. And people pay as much as $1,000 US, 5,000 US,
wow,
500 US, sorry, $1,000 US, 500 US, and as low as 200 US.
My goodness.
So why I understood these figures is because I've I've been opportuned to handle some of these cases, through our organization. In 2018, around 120 both male and female were arrested in a party. It was a birthday party, a dancer who is polyqueer. And one thing led to the other, and the police came, they arrested everybody. Before I could get to the police station the next day, people had bailed themselves with as much as $500. So that their family don't get to know, because they stand a chance of being homeless, losing shelter, losing heritage, losing their job, losing their social position, their political position, their religious position. So there are a whole lot of things. So they will pay the police. So the police use it as a recruiting business. Now, when those who couldn't pay, were brought to court, and we provided legal services for them, the police and the prosecutor could not provide evidence to show that these persons are actually gay, lesbian, or whatever you're calling them to be. So after the whole stress of legal proceeding, after 3 months of back and forth, what happened was that the judges had to throw away the case because there was no evidence.
I see.
But now you've put these persons through trauma, through emotional stress. You've outed them to their family because most of them are still in the closet. Their parents were coming to court for these cases, So these are like the situations we face. Like last month, there was equally an arbitrary arrest somewhere in Anambra State, and people bailed themselves with huge sum of money. So, and this arrest is not because...
yes, exactly. And so there is money to be made from that.
Correct.
Within the system. Talk to me about something, and I want both of you to answer this. When it comes to, specific things like, class structures, along class lines, along rural urban lines, as well as along lines within the LGBTQ community itself, lesbian women, bisexuals, or trans brothers and sisters. Talk to me about how that is treated, differently within the culture, within different aspects of the culture. Do richer LGBTQ people experience probably a different life? Does someone from a more traditional background experience probably a different life? What is the difference between just gay people and trans people and how they experience life there? To walk me a little bit through some of those intricacies there, please. And I'll start with you, Bashir.
Okay, thank you so much. So before I start that, I would like to, clarify, maybe make something clear. So in Nigeria, with the law in Nigeria, right, when those enacting that law, I think they did not think it well, because, when you're enacting a law or a policy or something, you need to also think about how that will be implemented, the possibility and the effectiveness of that. So they didn't think it through. So that is why we have that law in Nigeria. But at the end of the day, they are finding it difficult to implement it, to enforce it at the end of the day. So they can come and arrest you and harass you with the law and everything. But at the end of the day, when they take you to the court, they find it hard, to enforce that. They find it hard to prove that. So there's this part that talks about, public display of amorous relationship. Yes. So that thing is very vague, because I can be with my brother and I will hug my brother or give my brother a peg on the neck or anywhere. That could be classified as an amorous show of affection. Yes. But you cannot come and tell me that because I did that, I am having sex or I am in a gay relationship with my brother. So you see that situation. So that is what, gives that law that, very difficult to implement or to enforce. So about your question. So there's this thing of class, you having the elite and the lower class, and then So there's this thing about the lower class. First of all, they are very vulnerable. They are the most vulnerable because, first of all, they are not really enlightened mostly about their rights. First of all, and then because they are in that form of lack of enlightenment, they tend to be really vulnerable the police, come to harass them, and they will be like, okay, yes, I might be at fault. I could be at fault. And maybe I was not supposed to do this, but I did it. They don't know about their rights. They don't know that the police cannot just come and stop you on the way, and arrest you because you are a feminist. He doesn't have that right to do that. So, but they don't know that. And that is where organizations, grassroots organizations come into play, to provide that sort of awareness to these, rural community members. And the situation is different for the elite group or the elite members of the society because those are aware, they are aware of, their rights, they are aware of, how things are supposed to be. And then there's this sort of, is it a connection they have within, they have this network of people. So even if a situation gets, escalated with them, it doesn't get to a certain level that it would have gotten with, someone that is not as connected as they are. So the situation is really different. And then this elite group are not people you find, you easily see on the street, walking on the road, that the police can easily, come and stop on the road. If you see them, maybe they're in their cars, they're in their cars driving. So are you going to stop me in my car and say I'm acting effeminate in my car? No, you're not going to do that. So that is the situation. And then when you try to divide the community again into the gays, the bisexual, the trans. So I think the gays and the trans people tend to have more of the attacks because one reason is there's this over sexualization of lesbians in the society, especially by straight men. Yes. So when you talk about being gay as a man, they find it disgusting to them.
Yes.
They find it disgusting. When you talk about being trans, they say they don't understand it. But when you talk about being lesbian, they'll be like, "Ooh, so you have a girlfriend? Can I join?"
Okay.
So there's this over sexualization of lesbian women by straight men. So it makes it so they will be like, "Okay, it's fine with me because it's okay for them to see it. You can have a woman can kiss another woman. They won't react to it the way they are going to react to another man because in their head, they see that as sexually appealing to them. So because of their personal bias and their personal interest, they tend to be more, tolerable, or they assume or they claim to be more tolerant towards the lesbian. That is not general. Lesbian have always been attacked as well. But then the gay men and trans men, trans women especially, they've been, focused, the attack has been focused on trans women. They see them, if they see you as, there's this, confusion with trans women and, and drag queens. And, so they don't have, mostly they don't have that understanding. They don't get the difference. They don't get the difference. So the attack sometimes escalates and, they also attack drag queens, people that do that for, performance and all that. They attack them because they assume that they are trans. They are trying to be women. So that is how it is in the society. The trans community is receiving, most of the attacks, and then the gay men, and then, you start talking about the lesbians and all that.
Yeah. Wow. Really, really insightful there. Uchenna, talk to me about that and give me your perspective as well on that question.
First of all, I would like to state that human beings have class. We all have class. The society is, judged by class. So same also it's with the LGBT community. There is class, and there's the elite, there's the middle class, and there's the lower class. Bashir had already talked about the elite and how you cannot easily, get to them and how they have the power. They are in the politics. In fact, some of them are the senators, some of them are in high places, some of them are celebrities. Some of them is an open secret what their sexual orientation or gender identity is.
Yep.
But because, they are celebrities, nobody cares. But we have majority of the community coming from the middle class, majority of the community are having the knowledge, the understanding that this is who I am and, want to live like that. And within this middle class, we equally have those who are enlightened, who have already known about or have the knowledge of the comprehensive human sexuality education, and so they can be able to say, yes, this is who I am as a gay person. But we probably have others who don't have the knowledge, but
Yes.
they know that I have this feeling, I have this attraction, and an act on it. So when those ones get arrested or get into trouble like blackmail or extortion, we call it keto here, or even conversion therapy and all that, they fall victim easily, because they don't know what to say, they don't know how to defend themselves, they don't know their rights. And most of them are in the closet because they don't want to come out to the organizations that may, empower them, because once they do that, community members get to know them, and that innate internalized homophobia comes out, But we have the most vulnerable ones, those ones that are in the grassroots, Those ones, some of them have the knowledge, because as an organization working with the grassroots, we do community outreaches, we have peer educations and all that. But what they don't have is that they don't have money. What they don't have is that they don't have a place to rest their head. What they don't have is that they don't have a job. So when issues happens like this, most of them, their family has already rejected them, so they don't know where to run back. And you see them rot in jail. You see them being dragged in court. You see them facing harsh situations that, like I was saying, that people build themselves with money. These are persons who are, from the elite class, from the middle class. But we have these ones that they can't build themselves. But one thing they do is that they have resilience. So when they find themselves in situations like blackmail and extortion, some of them fight back. They will use their power to fight back and, get out of the situation. When their family rejects them, they take ownership of who they are. And if it's warrant talking water on the streets, they do that, we have many of them into saloon work, even patrol attendants and all that, just to make, and some of them look for shelter, they live in group, or they come to the organizations to ask for shelter home for a period of time. So these are places, these are how the resilience happen. Then
so
coming about,
I would ask, there's a great sense of community among members of the LGBTQIA community there. Like, is that strong sense of community where people have to kind of lean on each other to survive and to keep afloat?
Yes, particularly within the rural community, within the grassroots community. I have to emphasize on that because, well, a middle-class LGBTI person who has a good paying job and who doesn't want to be known in the community, what's the essence of having people around? So they have their own clique of friends. So we have clique of friends, we have class of friends, but we still have community building within the grassroots, especially among young LGBTI persons. Then talking about class, like Bashir already said, the sexualization of the feminine body has already made, non-queer persons highly sexualized and can accommodate or can accept lesbian women. And this also goes at how they view trans men. So I have had friends say, wow, you mean he's a trans man? Wow, I want him, even gay men make such comments, I want him to fuck me, even if it's wearing dildo. Yes. I've heard my straight friends say, wow, you mean she's a trans woman? Whoa. You mean these breasts are real? I would like to hold them. So the idea around sexualization of femininity by patriarchy, by the masculinity, has already, have a way to create a class and to create an understanding within our community as well. So I, as a gay man that's effeminate, sees another gay person telling me to man up because he doesn't want to get into trouble. It cannot tell the trans man or the stud lesbian to act like a woman because he feels, well, acting even like a man is a king to me.
Yes.
So gay men, especially effeminate gay men, find it very hard to survive in the society and even to survive within the LGBTI community. Because of the idea of masculinity and patriarchy and how the society has been structured, gender role has been structured around heteronormativity. So everybody is feeling that a man, even if you're gay, you have to act like a man, unless if you want to be trans. And a woman, even if you're a woman, have like a woman, unless you want to trans and all that. Yeah.
All right. Talk to me about interaction and communication between queer people across the continent. Is there much interaction and communication? When it comes to, you guys are in Nigeria, for example, when it comes to communication with other African countries across the continent, does that exist? And give me your opinion on where you believe LGBTQIA people in Africa are the most oppressed. Give me your thoughts on that. Let's go with you, Bashir.
Thank you. The movement I'm from Nigeria, but my work cuts across African countries. I work with the regional organization. So talking about the communication between African countries, the movement within each country and each other within each other. So that is what my organization is trying to do. We're trying to have that connection and movement, a regional movement building, so that as much as organizations are working within their countries and implementing initiatives that have to do with their countries, we want to see that connection with other communities across outside their countries. So we want to see that movement building that talks about resilience as a continent in Africa entirely. So we are concerned about each individual countries and their issues, but we are also looking at the broader picture of what it is for Africa entirely. So the connection in with Nigeria and other countries is not it's not something that it's not excellent, but it is something that is improving. So currently it's really improving compared to how it was in the past. It's really improving right now because we get to have platforms where people from other countries, people from Nigeria, people from Kenya, people from South Africa, are invited to represent their communities and interact, network, and provide solutions for each other. So yeah, that is that. And then the second question you asked is about country or region in Africa that is mostly oppressed. Is that it? Was that your question? Okay.
Yeah.
So so there is, I cannot say there is a consensus on a particular country that is highly or the most oppressed in Africa. But what I can tell you is countries that have traces of Islamic laws are the countries that have high rates of really oppressive policies. Like you can imagine countries having death penalty for people who are identifying as gay. So death is the height of it. If someone has to I know even in countries where the laws does not specifically say it's a death sentence, people lose their lives because of their identity. But for the law to specifically mention that you would have to be killed, that is the height of it. So that is it. And then that's it for me. So that is. So it's any region or any country that has traces of Islamic laws. Yes. Nigeria has a trace of Islamic laws in it because of the northern part of Nigeria. People have that there. The Sharia law, and Sharia law governs that region. Other countries in Africa, like especially the northern part of Africa, they are mostly governed by Islamic policies, Islamic law. So once you have that trace of Islamic law in your country, it is really, it gets really extreme for people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uchenna, same to you, same question.
Yeah, so okay, so we have movement building across the continent because we have a network called Interfaith Diversity Network of West Africa. Like I said, I'm into spiritual development for LGBTI persons, so I'm mostly within the interfaith space. So, and Interfaith Diversity Network of West Africa has member organization from all the West African countries, and the secretariat is in Ghana. So we have country champions in each country. I'm the Nigerian champion. Then we probably have another network called Global Interfaith Network, which has a secretariat in South Africa. And I work with them as the alternate board representative for Sub-Sahara. So we meet, and we have funders across, the region as well. ISDAO is here in West Africa. We have the other foundation there in South Africa. I've participated in the Kupano for from the other foundation in South Africa. So that's the movement building. We meet in these countries. We have been to Ghana, we've been to Abidjan, we've been to South Africa. Some persons have been to Kenya, to Rwanda. Some organizations, American organizations, come from America to come and implement in the continent and gather organizations through this network as well. Yes. We just finished the Taboom Media advocacy workshop with Taboom, an organization in South Africa that, had participants from almost all the regions in Africa. So we have that movement building, like Bashir said, it's not really excellent, but it's there.
Yeah, but it's there.
Yes, and they have member organizations representing the community. So we might not have everybody on the table at this point regionally, but organizations, at least from every country, at least West Africa, we're doing good.
Yeah.
We're not so excellent like South Africa in movement building and organizing, because there's been success stories coming out from there, but we are learning from those success stories and we are doing better by the day. Yeah. So coming to the other question about, the country that has the highest, criminalization of LGBTI persons in Africa. So it's funny because when I'm reflecting on it, I'm seeing West Africa. So I don't want to actually point out countries, but I'm seeing West Africa. Yes, we know that Uganda is really there and really, and Zimbabwe, but West Africa. Like, there is no country in West Africa that you say that LGBTI persons are welcomed. There is no country in West Africa. And most countries in West Africa have Islamic laws. Both the French-speaking part that you think that may be a bit liberal, the religious mindset. In fact, what is causing this whole thing is the religious mindset. And that is why I'm of the opinion that we don't change things from the outside. We change from the inside. Because conversion therapy and religious rejection are making more LGBTI persons leave their faith tradition, and say, please, stay with your God. If your God criminalizes me after making me this way, please stay with the God. But we found out that situation has been what has been fueling homophobia. Okay, take for instance what happened in Ghana, in the past 2 months. After the launch of LGBT group in Ghana and the homophobic conservative Christian campaign against it, is because of religion. So I'm of the opinion that if LGBTI persons who are persons of faith can begin to speak within these spaces and begin to provide counter narratives around these cobalt scriptures and doctrines that are influencing state politics, influencing legislations, then we can begin to have legislations that are built not based on religious dogmas and doctrines, but based on common sense, equity, and justice. So yeah. Thank you.
And justice for all. And on that note, let's end on a high. Let's end on something positive. What are some of the positive aspects of being LGBTQIA in Africa? And tell me a little bit about, your own queer communities that, you have around yourself that, keep you supported. Talk to me about that. Let's go, Bashiru.
Okay, something positive about the queer community. So personally, I know queer folks are the most industrious people I've ever met. Queer folks are, the most ambitious set of people. Whatever a queer person sets their mind to do, they end up doing it excellently well. So that is one thing that, is always beautiful to see within the queer community. If you see a queer person as an artist, at the end of the day, he or she or they are an excellent artist. If you see a whatever it is the queer person does, I don't know how it happens. I don't know why it is so or how it's like that. And I think it's everywhere. It's not just in Africa. Wherever it is, whatever it is, they set their mind to do, whatever it is they are doing, they do it excellently well. So that is something really positive, and that is something that I find really beautiful about the queer community. And then about my, people around me, my network. So I have a couple of, people, friends that are my close friends who I mostly work together. So most of my friends are people I get to meet through my work. And so it tends to be from work relationship that we get really close, and then we end up being friends. So they are the set of people that, they like give you that support that you don't get from, other people from maybe family, and also they give you that support that you need. So, and I'm really grateful to them because they tend to give me, that good place to, have a good mental state, even when, after going through all the hurdles of, the society and everything. At least you have people you can come and open up to and talk to at the end of the day. Yeah.
That's important. That's important. Thanks so much for that, Bashiru. Go ahead, Uchenna.
Yes. I want to celebrate the resilient spirit that we have as queer persons. We don't yield to oppression. I think I say we have a stubborn spirit, a fearless spirit. We challenge the status quo. We stand our ground and we say that this is our God-given right and this is our personality and there is dignity in our diversity. So that is top-notch for me. The fact that we don't look at ourselves at this part of the world and say there's no hope for us. We go into places and we make the change, and we are highly creative. Like the creativity comes like the dews falling from heaven.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see unless if the person is just a lazy human being. I've never seen a queer person who is not creative, who has not made something out of their life with their heads and with their minds, even when there is no job, even when they are not employed. We pick little things and we turn them to gold. Take, for instance, the entertainment industry in Nigeria. It's all queer persons. Now, comedy is now being done by drag queens and by cross-dressers, and it's being celebrated, and it's moving market in Nigeria.
Wow.
And then I must say that is some sort of advocacy as well.
Beautiful.
Probably people don't know, but it's sort of advocacy as well.
Advocacy.
Oh yes, I will say this: in Jamaica, comedy has almost always been ruled by queer people, and even some of the legends. I don't even want to put anybody on their tea, but even some of the legends.
Sure.
But as you say, many things are open secrets.
Open secret, because that is not being said that it's queer person doesn't mean that it's not queer person, or that those persons are doing it because of the money. No. Mm-hmm. Some of us knows those comedians on a personal level, so we know what it is.
Exactly.
But the point is that media is a powerful tool. So through that, subconsciously, the society are looking at this, and the mindset of acceptance is coming in.
Yeah.
So, in some places now, when you see a trans woman and you want to harass them, you will see people that will come out and say, but what did the person do to you now? If it's Bobrisky, would you harass them? So it has, it has created the creativity we have has created a lot of advocacy for us as well, around acceptance, in as much as it is not full acceptance, but we have more allies than we had before. And I think the second question, I didn't get it right, but I think you were asking people that help me to
your own
my own support group.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So the first person that is my support group or support mechanism or my strength is my partner. So engaged to a trans woman. And yes, and we've been together a few months now. We should celebrate our 1 year, and it has been a lovely experience for me, you know.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so that's thank you. So that's the first one. And I'm not someone that have very, big circle of friends. My friends are always, very small bunch. And, it's been helpful because some of them I've known them way back like 2003, 2005, and they are still here with me and all that, you know. So it's been sort of source of strength. And also, um, I gain strength from the work I do. The fact that every day I wake up and through my initiative, a life is touched, a life is saved, someone gets shelter, someone gets food, someone gets health care service that, is wholesome. It gives me joy and it gives me strength to wake up every day and continue to do it, to defend the community and to really stand up. There's a joy that comes from it. Even when we face harassment, arrest, and all that, doing it, there's fulfillment that comes from it that, my passion is paying off and you see lives being changed.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so
So
much for that.
I wanted
Go
to
ahead.
add something about the resilience that can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I wanted to say something about the resilience within our community members. So the queer folks are really being assertive, and they are really aware of what they want, what they know their rights should be, and now they want it. They want the government.
Yes.
Right? You can see it through the use of social media. I mean, the use of social media for advocacy has really, like increased recently, and it's something I would really, enjoin everyone to use whatever platform you have, to put your voice out there, talk about things that matter to you. Do not let anybody tell you that, okay, this is not the right time to talk about it, or this is not, what you're talking about does not really matter right now. This is not a pressing concern right now. It is a pressing concern to you, so you should really, really put it out there and make sure your voice is heard. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bashir. And I want you to continue with ending it with, let our viewers know where they can learn more and support what you're doing. And then I'll have Uchenna do the same.
Okay. So you can, my organization is the African Queer Youth Initiative. You can find our website, AQYI.org, or you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at African Query I. African Query I. So queer with Y and then I. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bashir. Uchenna, go ahead.
Yeah, so I work with Levites. So Levites is spelled Levites, Initiative for Freedom and Enlightenment. And so our website is LIFFE Nigeria, that's lifenigeria.org. And with Levites Initiative, you can find us on Facebook. And with Levite Initiate One, you can find us on Twitter as well. So, but you can still follow me, Uchenna Samuel Samoch on Facebook, Official Samoch on Instagram, Official Samoch on Twitter. So, Samoch is my stage name because I'm equally a recording artist.
Oh.
And so, yeah, so I use music as a tool for advocacy and a source of therapy for LGBTI persons. So, once you follow Samoch, you can get to Levites and all that. So, yes, thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Listen, thank you guys so much for joining me today. It has been so fabulous having this Kiki. It was certainly what I needed for my morning and hopefully for your evening.
Thank you so much. This was really fun. This was really fun.
Yeah, it's a
Thank you. Certainly a pleasure. And to our viewers, thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.
Bye.